Douglas can't hide. Our leader only chooses the best to serve. Dr. Colleen Suko is a former advisor in the Ministry of Gender, Youth and Child Development, as well as advisor in the Ministry of National Diversity and Social Integration. Both ministries were formed under the UNC government, something the PNM never did. Dr. Colleen Suko is appointed an ambassador in the United Nations at large. She is also a member of NATEX, and she is working here with us in Moruga to get this seat back to the United National Congress, where we will return Kamala Prasad-Bissessar as the next leader.
The opposition or political leader, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, and all the members of the UNC family and friends. Let me hear you. Thank you, members of the constituency of Moruga Tableland, for being here in your numbers tonight. Are you UNC and proud? Of the largest constituency by way of its geographical space, 684 square miles. I acknowledge members from the community of Blood Road, from Tableland, from Gulchan Trace, Laloon, Sulchan, Branchome, St. Mary's Village, and all of Moruga. From the company villages, from Kunja, Komuto, Lengua, Orapur South, and those that I haven't mentioned, welcome to the nation. See, come on, somebody. Let the nation hear your voices. I bring greetings from the National Executive of the United National Congress. My name is Dr. Colleen Suko, and I'm presently the research officer. I have worked and have been acquainted with the Moruga Tableland and have worked with the former MP Clifton Dikoto as a technical advisor in 2012. I have worked with most of you over the years, and it has been a pleasure. I've been appointed as one of the coordinators to work with and for the people of Moruga Tableland. Before I proceed further, I want to thank the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, and could we say the next Prime Minister, our political leader, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, for this wonderful opportunity. In your presence here, in your numbers, is a testimony of the stewardship of the wonderful and hardworking councillors and aldermen and activists. Can we give it up for them? I've had the pleasure to circumstances under the former administration. Years of neglect, deterioration, when Moruga Tableland was aptly called the landslip capital. There were approximately 253 landslips. There was a baby landslip. There was a mother landslip. There was a father landslip. There was an uncle landslip. There was a family of landslips. The former PNM administration allowed the whole family to go through. But let me take you back a little bit to memory lane under the People's Partnership. Those slippages were under control. The UNC-led administration stabilized 93 of those landslips. 93 of those landslips were repaired. Could somebody give it up for them? Could somebody give it up for the United National Congress? My brothers and sisters, when you stabilize a landslip, you concentrate on paving roads. Doesn't that make sense? That is what the UNC did, and they continue to do. You are aware of the deterioration of Moruga Tableland? That didn't take place overnight. Thanks to the vindictive PNM administration. But your PP administration, your UNC administration assured you that as a government, we are here and we are working for you. We continue to care for the people. So I ask you again, has the PNM failed you miserably in Moruga Tableland? Has the UNC been good to you? My brothers and sisters, education is the key. When we educate we children, we educate the nation. Ain't it so? I say to you that the political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, has the experience, has the political savvy, has the vision, has the plan to make this country a knowledge-driven first world nation. My brothers and sisters, the UNC didn't only build schools, stabilize landslips. The UNC built centers in Marak, Hindustan, refurbished Laroon. The UNC building, Moruga, police what? What they built? And when I give you the signal, I want you to say lights. Everybody say lights. I say lights. Out of 18 grounds in 2010, 9 was illuminated. So here you're going now. Marak have, Laroon have, Pinarok have, Gomez Trace have, Mandingo have, Sekroy have, Punjal have, Bakawe have. My brothers and sisters, in the constituency, we had, according to NAMDEFCO statistics, we have 205 qualified farms. I want only to tell the country, who is the pineapple capital of Trinidad and Tobago? Who is the food basket of this nation? And watchmen, as your coordinator tonight, I bring a messenger of hope to you. I say to you, you have been bitten by the PNM once, you have been bitten twice, you have been loved by the UNC and treated as a community. Today I say we will win. Say we will win. Say we will win. Say we will win. Say we will win.
That is the power, that is the performance, and that is the intelligence that we have in the United National Congress. Are you fed up of Faris Al-Rawi? Are you fed up of Stuart Young? Are you fed up of Darrell Smith? Are you fed up of Keith Rowley? So are we ready for Kamala Persad-Bissessar to be Prime Minister again? And our leader, she chooses the brightest of the bright. And the next person that I'm going to bring on the microphone, if I have to read out his CV for you, it will take all night. So I'd just like to highlight a few of his accolades. He holds a Bachelor of Science in Physics. He has a Master's of Philosophy in Medical Physics and Bioengineering. He's a PhD student and he's an international consultant on renewable energy. He was a former and worked for the Queen of England, but now he is here to work for our Queen, Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Give it up for Randy Ramanasinghe.
Good afternoon all, good evening. Honourable Political Leader of the United National Congress, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, SCMP, UNC family and friends. Good evening, Moruga Tableland. I am so happy to see you here in your numbers. All this past week from walkabouts in Cats Hill, breaking the borders of the glorious pineapple fields of George Village, across into Tableland, down into Lengua, traversing Indian Walk, down into the lush hills and valleys of Barrackpore, moving south into the Penal Rock Road, and continuing through the lush forests and plains of Moruga, stopping at La Lune, La Ruffin and Marak. This sun has shone brilliantly as the soldiers of the UNC have been on the ground. The sun shone so brilliantly, it was almost as if heralding a new beginning for this area. It was so bright that we almost forgot the dark days after September 2015, when the lights were dimmed on us, when panic and anguish, hurt and despair ran through this beautiful and bountiful area. You see, we knew then, as we are sure now, that the beginning of the end had come to pass. The bitter harvest had begun. We knew then that crime would start to escalate, that children may very well go hungry, jobs would be lost, gates would be limited, and essential health and education deprived from us. But what we know is that our leaders did not abandon us. We know that our Member of Parliament stood with us, stood strong with us, and was there for us. We also knew that our political leader, Kamala Persad-Bissessar, stood by us, guiding, counseling, leading, and continuing the fight. And our hope was renewed again when the local government election came around in 2016. Despite this area being punished by a lack of resources, despite the agents of negativity and derision, we came together. We beat the PNM in the Moruga district. Councillor Joseph Laurent. We beat them in Swift Company. Councillor Rafi Mohammed. And we beat them in Hindustan St. Mary's with Councillor Michelle Benjamin taking the seats and claiming the Princeton Regional Corporation under the excellent Chairman Gauri Rupnarayan here. That is the strength of our people, and that is the strength of Moruga Tableland. You see, our leader has said to us, go out there, meet the people, speak to the people, and serve the people. And only one leader in our land could have held 3 portfolios at the same time. First female Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Chairman of the CARICOM, and Chairman of the Commonwealth, all at the same time. And that is the leadership that we have in the United National Congress. It is undeniable that our leaders' stellar performances in Parliament have recently been nothing short of outstanding. In Parliament recently, her budget response, tens of thousands of people were locked on and she demolished the PNM. Braving floods herself, she went to every single area affected, personally delivering food and water, clothes to the vulnerable, and chose the people, not the morning shows. You see, for her, a child to go to bed hungry and thirsty on a wet bed said or flaw was unacceptable. She activated a disaster response plan, and every single councillor, MP, senator, activist was on the ground in Barrackpore, was on the ground in Pinalebe, in Siparia, in the east, in the north, where there was flood. She went there with the people. When we say united, when we say national, and when we say Congress, the only person in this country who has the vision, the intelligence, and the qualifications to lead this country back to where we before is the Honorable Governor Prasad Bisesa. Soldiers of the United National Congress, tonight the political leader is sounding the battle call. She will lead the troops once more for a brighter tomorrow. And what we do now, we arm you with the knowledge, with the years of experience, and the bright sparks of new ideas. We arm you with the tools of compassion, integrity, and generosity. We arm you with the promise that with hope and unity, that we will once more make Moruga Tableland the brightest beacon on the southern seaboard, with the coastal breezes funneling the flames of our mobilization on the ground, and the hunger and hurt of this PNM government lighting a fire in our bellies for a common cause to ensure a better tomorrow for all of us, with our leader, the Honorable Governor Prasad Bisesa. Leader at the helm, with our generals squaring the lines, and with our soldiers prepared to face with the task of reclaiming our seat and our country. We will recall Blake's Jerusalem. Bring me my bow of burning gold. Bring me my arrows of desire. Bring me my spear. Oh, clouds unfold. Bring me my chariot of fire. I will not cease from mental fight, nor shall my sword sleep in my hand, till we have built the UNC stronghold in Moruga Tableland's green and pleasant land. Thank you.
Moruga, I told you, we have foot soldiers on the ground committed, people committed to returning this seat to the United National Congress under the leadership of Kamala Prasad Bisesa. Let me hear it for these people that you have just heard, these soldiers that have committed to fighting for this seat, along with the executive of Moruga Tableland. We are here working for you tirelessly, sleeplessly, night after night. We are on the road because we know that it's only under the UNC that we will see a brighter day. I have the honor of introducing another such strong foot soldier. This foot soldier is an MP that cares, an MP that shows up when you call, an MP that fights in Parliament day after day, raising concerns even for Moruga Tableland, taking it to Lovell. That man that loved the song of his name. I remember Lovell. But Lovell, I know that we are what that no more. That Lovell, as Comfort Joe will say, that L stands for liar. We know that, and MP Charles tells him that on a daily basis, constantly in Parliament. Let me hear you for this brilliant man. No, I'm not going to read out his CV because we'll be here all night. Let me hear it for MP Rodney Charles.
Our esteemed political leader who will take us to victory come 2020. Constituents of Moruga Tableland, Naparima I must call them, and Princess South. All UNC supporters gathered under the clear crystal skies of Moruga in Trinidad and Tobago. Today, the people of Moruga Tableland, and indeed all of Trinidad and Tobago, are witnessing the worst government ever we have had in the history of our country. This Keith Rowley of nothing but pain and more pain. They are, amen lady, they are failures. Let me repeat that. They are failures. Failures in health. Failures in bringing down the unemployment rate. Failures in diversifying our economy. Failures in providing inter-island sea transport. Failures in fixing landslides in Moruga Tableland and in Naparima. Failure to hold ministers accountable for major indiscretions, perhaps the worst we have experienced in our country. Failure to provide a compelling action plan to take our country forward. Failure, brothers and sisters, to keep the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago safe. Our country is experiencing unimaginable levels of criminality, and this government continues to ignore the cries of the citizens. This government allows criminals free rein to abuse our country and the hard-working, law-abiding citizens. Imagine, our murder rate to date is 142 and climbing. They have continued to fail in protecting our national image abroad, unaware about decisions taking place in his own ministry. He is like General Sergeant Schultz in a TV program long ago. Sergeant Schultz used to hear nothing, he used to see nothing, he used to do nothing. Minister Moses is in charge, and we embarrass ourselves at the OAS on the Dominican's request for a waiver of fees. And all Moses could say was, I wasn't there. Nobody told me. I don't know. And today, ladies and gentlemen, Rowley shuffled the pack of jokers and kept his good friend, Dennis Moses. Everybody goes, but his partner, Moses, stays. Clearly, Rowley has not heard about the principle of collective responsibility or ministerial responsibility, which under the Westminster system we only understands pavement diplomacy and not good parliamentary practice. Today also, Moses got up in Parliament and said that after the Dominican crisis, he spoke on the phone to his colleague in Dominica and apologized. Well, poor Moses. He does not know that at this level, what is required is a diplomatic note, not a phone call. For heaven's sake, we're not talking about a parlor or a roti shop. We're talking about the government of the people, the proud people of Trinidad and Tobago and of Moruga Tableland. But Rowley is demeaning the office. He did not see it fit to attend 3 annual General Assemblies of the United Nations. 2015, 2016, 2017. No doubt he will miss it this year. Unlike our political leader, Mrs. Kamla Persad-Bissessar, who had the vision and the intelligence and the strength to interact frontally with her peers globally. Unlike Rowley, our leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, was globally respected in the international arena. I saw her in action at the UN, and as a little boy from South Trinidad, I was proud of my Prime Minister, Kamla Persad-Bissessar. And while I was at the UN, this not too bright Keith Rowley can never understand global diplomacy. You see, he's a geologist. He studied the ages of rocks. He needs to abide by the rock of ages. He is a president of North Korea, Kim Jong-un. According to the Rowley doctrine of diplomacy, they should never speak because you only speak to people you like. So in the company of 17 other UN ambassadors, I challenge Ms. Le Pen on her views on Islamophobia, on immigration, on ultranationalism, sitting in New York, people by so doing. And I will do it again Rowley or no Rowley. Important global organizations such as the EU, that is the European Union, and the OECD have placed Trinidad on their blacklist based on the world. They don't want to deal with us. And Faris Alwari gets up in Parliament and says, you know why you're on the blacklist? Because the PP government did nothing. Well, that is not true. That is not true, because the period of review was in 2016 and 2017. And who was in power? Dr. Rowley. Who was not in power? Kamla Prasad Lisesa. Now, the EU wrote us last year, and you know that we did not write the letter commitment that you will abide by or you'll take steps to deal with our concerns. Barbados wrote, Grenada wrote, but clueless Faris Alwari did not, and we remain today blacklisted by the EU and the OECD. The only areas of competence by this Keith Rowley administration are old talk, long-winded, nice-sounding sales talk, and blaming the PP government. Not hard work and performance. I will say it again. Under the PNM, the only growth industries are funeral homes and crime, criminals. Funeral homes and crime. So what are the priorities of clueless Moses? Why is this strategic direction? Where is this strategic direction that he was supposed to give to the ministry? Why, for example, set up an embassy in the United Arab Emirates when Guyana is on our doorsteps, on the verge of an oil boom that has never been witnessed in CARICOM countries in this region, 500,000 barrels a day, and we do not have an embassy in Guyana? Why close down our embassy in Uganda, close to Ethiopia, Jah Rastafari, seat of the African Union, representing 54 countries? What policies are in place to deal with the reputed 40,000 Venezuelan refugees in our country? What is the status of the immigration detention center where you're housing these people? What policies are in place to combat human trafficking of Venezuelans in Trinidad? We have Venezuelans being treated like dogs under this government and being made to stay in inhuman conditions. We, all of us, will pay a price long after Rowley demits office for the inhuman treatment meted out to Venezuelans. But what is the purpose of our Coast Guard in Cedros? If you visit Cedros, you see a base. Is that base for decoration? We have our fishermen and offshore workers fearful for their lives. And the only advice the Coast Guard can do is we can't do nothing. A national security priority. How, for heaven's sake, can Venezuelan naval vessels enter our waters and our Coast Guard so frightened that they know we're wrong? Could we ever enter Venezuelan waters, even if we're chasing Venezuelans? So where's the Coast Guard? What are they doing? So Moses will lead us to the promised land of global excellence. The Prime Minister's defense. Protect Moses. Blame staff. Attack me. Come up with some unsigned, unconfirmed minutes. Does the Prime Minister not know that unsigned note written by someone is not evidence? There are no policies in place to make sense of what is taking place in our country. And here is quote in the Bible. It is Exodus 6:12. And I'm reading, but Lord, Moses objected. My own people won't listen to me. How can I expect Pharaoh to listen? I am such a clumsy speaker. Greatness! We are in the presence of our leader. We are in the presence of we are in the presence of our leader. Can you feel it in the air? You feel it in the firmament. Greatness is coming to us. First female Prime Minister. First female Attorney General. The first representative of South Trinidad to lead us to greatness. A leader who believed in giving us laptops and making us computer literate. She, ladies and gentlemen, will rescue us from the trials and tribulations of this rowdy-led administration. So let's enjoy our leader. Our great leader, we cannot wait for you to come back into power to rescue us from trials and tribulations. But I've given you a quote from the Bible, and this is Moses talking. He said, "But Lord," Moses objected, "my own people wouldn't listen to me anymore. How can I expect Pharaoh to listen? I am such a clumsy speaker." Does that not sound like Moses we know? So, ladies and gentlemen, the question of ministerial responsibility, I spoke about it, but in that concept, it is a constitutional convention that cabinet ministers bear ultimate responsibility for the action of their ministries. Even if a minister is unaware of misdeeds or behavior, he or she is responsible and answerable for every action in his ministry. The traditional example, according to authorities in the UK, responsibility was the Richard Dung affair in 1954, when the Minister of Agriculture resigned despite the fact that all mistakes were made by civil servants without his knowledge. Clearly, this is not the case under this government. So tonight, I, Rodney Charles, MP for Naparima, want to say to Dr. Rowley, I want to be your friend. And ladies and gentlemen, I say this because once you are his friend like Moses, you can do no wrong. Be it scandals, be it missteps or global embarrassment, you will be well protected. But the UNC is ready to liberate Trinidad and Tobago from the grip of this galloping dictatorship. And Mrs. Robinson Regis had the effrontery to tell me about some fun to come in when she tells us about how she used her credit card to purchase jewelry for US $6,000, purchase lighting equipment, etc. We will respond when she tells us on the 5th of June at a PNM public meeting in Ikwese, she read out emails leaked from my personal account. But my friends, the future is not gloomy as it might seem. Under our esteemed political leader, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, Trinidad and Tobago will be restored to the thriving paradise that it once was. Come 2020, we will be able to walk the streets and sit in our front porches without fear. She has the backbone, the drive, and I'm speaking metaphorically, the testicular fortitude to follow through on her promises to Trinidad and Tobago and change us from these bitter days towards a first world country. She has seen the promised land. In her house there are many mansions, and she's on the verge of preparing us for that 21st century digital economy. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot wait. Let us put our hands together and acknowledge the greatness.
Moruga Tableland, we have in our presence the Honorable Kamla Persad-Bissessar, the greatest Prime Minister that has ever served our Republic. And there's another great woman sitting next to her. She's a powerhouse. She's a professional woman. But most of all, she remains humble. She has a common touch, and she's a plain talker. She don't put water in she mouth to say nothing. She has vast experience in housing. She has chaired the youth, not like this new OJT Darrell Smith minister that they brought in. She is ready to move our UNC party forward. Please welcome Deputy Political Leader Jerlene John.
Honorable Political Leader, other members of the head table, I want to congratulate the UNC Moruga Tableland team for such a wonderful effort. Thank you all so much. Not too far from here, in the neighboring community of Mearo, on March 19, Stacy and Campbell from Raddick Village, Mearo was killed by a neighbor. On a fateful Monday night like this, bludgeoned to death, allegedly by a man called Modest, whom she had known all her life. We heard about Abigail Chapman, Olivia Chapman 15, Michaela Mason 14, and their landlord, all killed by some obsessed male relative. Lakshmi Persad, 42, of Ramchmood Avenue, Chitland, was strangled by a 25-year-old man she knew. 25-year-old Arissa David relative. She was a victim of domestic abuse. Her elderly mother had been alerted to her daughter's tragic end by the two children coming to her and running and saying, "Mommy, we can't wait, Mommy." These names I've just called a few because it represents the endless stream of blood of our mothers, daughters, and sisters. Young women gone too soon, falling prey to domestic abuse, sexual abuse, violence, harassment, sexual harassment, all strands of the same ugliness. What has happened to so fundamentally change our society, where women are being preyed upon in this vicious, cruel manner? The vulnerable requires and deserve the protection of the state. They deserve the protection of the government. They deserve the protection of the Prime Minister. On Monday, February 6th, the Prime Minister, while speaking about domestic-related murder, said, if a crime is to be committed, invariably the police may not know it is to be committed. And more often than not, the police will only know after the crime has been committed, he said. He said the ill-fated domestic cases usually end with a woman in a strained or difficult relationship, forcing the state to intervene to put a restraining order against the partner. Says Dr. Rowley, you call on the Prime Minister to do something about crime. I'm not in your bedroom. I am not in your choice of men. You see, when a woman decides if loving a man is wrong and she doesn't want to be right, a caring state, a compassionate state, a Prime Minister as the one we had in Kamala Persad will ensure that the mechanisms are in place to treat with the fallout, not to criticize, not to name and shame the victim. You see, friends, when Miss Carrie Morrow, a single mother, turned up in a government office to carry out to the best of her ability the job for which she had been hired, safe and secure workplace. It is not discretionary. It is her right to safety. It is the state's duty to protect and to secure her. She should be assured of that. So when I read the yesterday's Sunday Express, and I forgot the name, I found it was astounding, if it is true, that a government minister could feel so entitled, so emboldened, to the point where it was common knowledge, and the research officer of his constituency could say, when she saw Miss Morrow so traumatized, she couldn't get out the words. She said, what happened? The boss striking him? And when Miss Morrow in her distress asked, am I doing anything wrong to attract? And ladies, you know how that is. You wonder, is it me? You understand? The research officer said, you are not the first, and you will not be the last. You see, when mothers trying to feed their families, you believe they have time for any man licking their lips and flexing and saying, whatever you want, whatever you need, I'll be right here, baby. Baby, baby, baby. They got time for that. They head hot. You understand? Today's editorial said, ended with, by now, the Prime Minister should know that he doesn't need the services of a special reviewer to tell him that Minister Darrell Smith must go. Oh, really? Because my phone blew up just like yours at some point today. Cabinet reshuffle. Darrell Smith is the new Minister of Housing. No. I've heard on the radio some of the apologists say, no, the Prime Minister is the substantive Minister of Housing. You know that isn't true. Because let me remind you, immediately upon assumption of the role of Prime Minister, Dr. Rowley wrote a book, From Mason Hall to Whitehall. Rowley working in Whitehall. Since Mr. Manning, Madam Kamala Persad Bissessa, the Prime Minister's office has been 13 to 15 Sinclair Avenue. So if Rowley doesn't know where Whitehall, where you walk in, you think he'll find HTC to say he's minister? You can't find HTC. You don't know where you walk in. You walk in the head. You know, you should take off that cloth here around the neck and tie up your head to study it. You understand? You don't know where he's working. Playing the fool. You know, so last Thursday on Poster, somebody asked the Prime Minister about the scandal. You know the scandal, there's a scandal. And he said, I heard it Wednesday. Now, I found the reporters didn't ask, which Wednesday? Yesterday, Wednesday, day before? Because this back and along there a long time, you know. So I want to ask the Prime Minister tonight, in this era of the Me Too movement, is he accepting that he is on the wrong side of history tonight? I want to ask the Prime Minister, is he of the opinion that his Minister of Sport did not ask or comment on Ms. Morrow's Presbyterian? Is it that the Prime Minister is satisfied that his Minister of Sport did not inappropriately compliment Ms. Morrow on her mode of dress, as if he was auditioning to become her stylist? Am I to assume that the Prime Minister was satisfied that his Minister of Sport is fit and proper because today he promoted him, that was a promotion, to the Ministry of Housing? Now at the Ministry of Housing, a significant amount of the people who come there, single mothers, distressed, in great distress, I'm telling you. So I want to assume that what his boss is doing is giving him fresh meat. It is like putting cat to watch butter. You know, like putting cat to watch butter. You know, because this fella, they should banish him to Mount St. Benedict in solitary confinement where he should reflect. Not in HDC, where all the time is single mothers coming across. Because you will recall, when word came to the then Prime Minister Kamala Persad Bissessa, that then Minister Chandra Sharma, Dr. Glenn Ramadan Singh, it was alleged he had inappropriately touched the woman. She fired him immediately. She didn't even ask a question. She wanted to know. Women must be safe in the workplace or wherever. When word came to the then Prime Minister that it was alleged that then Minister Chandra Sharma probably watch the Pampalam. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. What did she do? She fired him. You know. So tonight I want to ask our new Minister of Housing. Did he touch it? What did I pay $150,000 for? Did he touch it? I want to know what you paid $150,000 for. You think he touched it? We want to find out. We pay for that. You understand? As women, we know them cheap. They're going to go through. What are your money on the credit card? Because you need toilet hiding. That is the former Minister of Sports. You understand? He touching and chasing and we paying. You understand? You see, almost every month, we are being assailed by the exploit of this former Minister of Sport. You know, it's from one thing to the other. It is okay if there are two concerning adults and the man dips his hand in his pocket. But when we have to pay for the good times, we can't pay for the man pretending. So I am saying tonight that this Prime Minister has obviously run out of options. At least he understood that the good Randy Mitchell couldn't build a house, put himself there. But that's for another time. You understand? Because the Prime Minister too has a record. Tonight we are talking about sexual harassment in the workplace. We have a lot of women here tonight and we need to address it here. And seeing their skirt and talking about it fit, that is really a stylist. So he cannot be so bold-faced to put in our Ministry of Housing and we say we're taking that. We are not taking that. We are not. I assure you that in the House of the Rising Sun, there are many mansions. And if it were not so, this pretty-head girl from Charville would have told you that it is not so. Let's keep working. Let's keep fighting for right to Chantibago. Let's keep hope alive, brother and sister. We're marching. We're getting out our receipt. Thank you.
Moruga table and you heard a plain talker. No water in she mouth. She tell you as it is. She tell you the truth. Let me hear it for that truth talker. I tell you, our leader choose the best in representation. Someone that will tell it as it is. Now I have the pleasure and the honor is mine tonight to introduce to you the next Prime Minister. Not a Prime Minister in waiting, the next Prime Minister. Because Moruga Tableland going to signal the change that is to come here tonight. And I am going to work tirelessly to make sure that is a reality. And I know that the soldiers here seated tonight is going to make that a reality. Let me hear you, Moruga Tableland.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. Wow. Jelly John. family of the UNC, good night, Moruga Tableland. How are you feeling tonight? I am so happy to see the enthusiasm, the energy, your passion for your party. I can see you are ready. You are ready to take Moruga Tableland back into government. You are ready for the return of our great party into the corridors of power. Thank you very much. Thank you. And before we get into other issues, I want to pause for a moment for us to celebrate the life of two of our great soldiers. And that is our candidate in one of the seats for Toko Santi Grande as we mourn her passing, Amelia Ram, and also a stalwart and stalwart in the Barataria seat, Mr. Vishnu Ramoja. May their souls rest in peace as they pass into the great beyond. And in life, there is death. But in life, there is celebration. And tonight, I thank them, honor them, for their contributions to Trinidad and Tobago and to a very great party. And it is very ironic that today, when we are celebrating a woman who for the first time won gold in the Commonwealth Games for Trinidad and Tobago, we congratulate her, we thank her. So as we celebrate her glory for Trinidad and Tobago, we are now seeing the minister who mashed up our tourism industry moving to be where? Champlain to where? Ministry of Sport. But we are great people. We are resilient people, and the people of Trinidad and Tobago will forever continue to shine. Michelle, congratulations on your goal. Congratulations on the behalf of our great party and Trinidad and Tobago. So what a week it has been. What a week and happenings and going-ons and shenanigans we have seen in this past week. There are some who have said, and I know, that the circus is in town. And we have to ask, who is advising the Prime Minister in town when the circus is in town? Is it Mickey Mouse? Today we saw the reshuffling of the jokers, the roamers, and the rompers. And it will change to nothing in this Mickey Mouse government under Keith Rowley. You know, it reminds me of a song by David Rudder. Perhaps we can take a few lines in. You know, they say whom the gods wish to destroy, they first make them mad. And what we witnessed with that reshuffle is what the song was saying: madness. Madness. As Jillian has really graphically described what has happened in moving Darius Smith from one ministry, promoting him, and don't fool yourself, you know, they say it's not a promotion. And their friends in the media, it's a demotion. They're saying, no, no, no. You are moving from a ministry of a few $100 million to a ministry what? Billions of dollars. Billions of dollars. And what is to happen for each day that he sits in the parliament, that he sits in the government? It's an insult to every mother, to every wife, and every daughter, and to every man, father, brother who stands by our side. It is an insult. So you can't have a halfway, you know. There's a saying, you can't be half pregnant. It's either you're pregnant or you are not. So you can't say slap him on the wrist, but you're keeping him in the government. Today, Keith Rowley has shown his total impotence. Total impotence. He has shown that he cannot take the hard decisions, and we have to ask why. Not just Kamla, not just the opposition is saying Darius Smith must go from the government, all the talk shows and newspapers, the editorials, but this Rowley is so out of touch with the reality of what is taking place on the ground. And so he keeps it there, and the question must arise, why is he protecting Darrell Smith? Why is Rowley shielding and protecting Darrell Smith? And I want to ask some questions tonight. I want to ask some questions. And these questions have to do with the Diego Martin Sports Complex. First of all, in that Diego Martin Sports Complex, I think the Minister of Sports was who? Darrell Smith. Building this, first we were told it costing $40 million. Now I'm being told it's $140 million, and it's not finished yet. Huh? So we have to wait to see the cost overruns on that project. And then I'm told that the company that got the contract, there's a small man in that contract, small man in the firm got the contract, and that small man played golf every day with the big man, Keith Rowley. So are they golfing partners? That's true? And that may be okay, but we know there must be processes to do things. But I am told it was something called a sole select tender. Contractor was chosen by sole select tender. Now I read the law, you know. Under the CTB rules, central tenders, manufacturing bulletin press. And indeed, most of the sole select tendering is done when we deal with national security issues. Yeah. I am told, and I'm asking, is this a small man who plays golf with the Prime Minister? That's the question we need to ask. And then, you know what is the expertise of this particular company if you go up on their website? Box trains. Building box train. That is their only experience and expertise. Being given is $40 to $140 million. Can it be that Darrell Smith holding goods on Rowley? Can it be that there is more in the motor than the petrol at Diego Martin Sports Complex? And of course, many, you know, I have to ask you a question. I really have to ask you a question. Last week when they were interviewing him in the Post-Gap, made this great statement. He said, I have full confidence in all my ministers. I have full confidence, Rowley says, in all my ministers. Do you agree with Dr. Rowley? Do you have confidence in a Minister of National Security who was before a new secret deal? We don't know. Secret deal. We don't know what happened in that matter. Is Edmund Dillon a fraudster or is he not a fraudster? We cannot say, because guess what? Sealed. It's like the non-disclosure agreement that was supposed to be in, say, 142. Well, I'm told it's 145 to date for the year. Do you know how many days we have in the year so far? Anybody checking? About 100 days. 101. Rowley also said when he said confidence all his ministers, he said, and if I don't, I will take away their portfolio. Well, he didn't, he just reshuffled and recycled. Politicians, scandal, plague of politicians. You all know the old saying, reshuffle the jokers in the pack. Tonight I say, Dr. Rowley, we have no confidence in any of your ministers. I can spend time talking about each one we can go through, but you know, we have Rohanson and Ann. We can't get a vote yet. This man's so backward or don't know what dotish. You know what he announced to get himself in the news? He said, I'm going to do an audit on the spirit. The man audited himself, the same business. He's minister, he going to run audit. Run an audit on the, what is it, TT Spirit? Run an audit. Do you have confidence in Rohanson and Ann? Do you have confidence in Faris Alwari? If the reports are correct, the Attorney General may be involved in alleged conspiracy to cover up the whole Darrell Smith affair. How can we have an Attorney General who may be involved caught in a conspiracy. And poor Barry called Barry Padarak in school. And this man is so not hands-on with what is happening in this country. When he's told about the allegations and the calls from the opposition and from MP Barry Padarak for Darrell Smith to go, you know what he said? Fix your grammar. Front page of the Express today, headline, Barry get buff. Because he was calling for the right thing. Rowley doesn't understand, he's out of touch. So you think by saying the grammar, but Barry, that fella brave, eh? Barry this morning say, well, I have fixed my grammar, you go fix your government. Go fix your government. And up to today now, the shuffle and the reshuffle and the recycling of the same faces and the same scandal-plagued ministers. It is very clear that he has not fixed his government. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with whom? With the head of the cabinet, the Prime Minister Rowley. The buck stops with him. And if he has confidence in all his ministers, we say to him tonight, we have no confidence in Pete Rowley. No confidence in Pete Rowley. And here we are now with sexual harassment. And in the Parliament today, a question was asked of the Minister of Labour, what is the government's policy? Story and the whole talk. Her answer was they have no policy. No policy to call on our ministers to go. Because this is something we cannot condone. We all know, most working women know what it is like to be faced with some form of inappropriate sexual harassment in the workplace. As women, we know, working women know. As women going to educational institutions, we know. Don't hide it, me too, we know. And so something must be done about it, and it must be done now. And I want to tell you what I am doing. I am sexual harassment in the workplace and at educational institutions. I will take it to the Parliament. Because when the Minister of Labour was asked today, that was not important, it will come. Not even law, because she promised us law 2.5 years now to deal with the labour issues in our country. Not one line has come. So I give you this assurance tonight. I will draft that bill, I will take it to Parliament, and let the government be bold-faced and shameless enough not to support law against sexual harassment. All members, I wasn't afraid. I asked Rowley again, what these fellas holding on you? What Darrell Smith holding, that when everybody say move him, you just shift him. And it is worse where you've put him. Jillian said it. Many single mothers go for housing, don't they? What does the woman trust Darrell Smith to approach him? How can we do that? So tonight is a very dark day. Yes, he's moved him from sport, but then he's just shifted him up somewhere else. Numerous allegations against Darrell Smith are not today, you know. There have been allegations against him since he was in the corporation, the Martin Regional Corporation. We must remember Dr. Rowley replaced Amory Brown, Dr. Brown, to put Darrell Smith there as a candidate. And after the incident in Tobago, Jillian mentioned tonight other stories, more to come in on those things. The truth will always rise up. The truth will always set you free. And those stories will come, still to come. And then we say, as Barry told you last week, they're just following him to take his stand. We have to. MP Ronnie Charles has dealt with that issue, so I will say no further except to say, this is our minister. As Ronnie nicely put it from Sergeant Schultz, he knows nothing, he sees nothing, he hears nothing, and he does nothing. Again, follow the leader, follow the leader, follow the leader, that is Rowley. When they interviewed him last week in the postcard, I don't know about that. Lied again, you know. Because he was sitting in the Parliament when MPs from the opposition put questions, and Stuart Young and I think Faris, okay? Before Easter, when he comes back after the Easter, after the golfing and so on, interviewing him at postcamp last Wednesday, he said, I don't know anything about that. Okay, I'll check. When they pressed him, I'll check it out. So while he's still checking out, the front page Express exposed, Darren, the revelations which came on. Can we congratulate the Express and the reporters? Because if that investigative reporting wasn't done, then we would still be saying we think so, we know so, but where's the evidence that provided the evidence? What everybody knew, huh? People were saying it everywhere, Darrell this, Darrell that. The evidence came forward. So, all of that, but again, the Prime Minister never knows, he never sees, he never hears. And while all this is going on in the country, you cannot get medicine in the hospitals. You can't get medicine at the health centers. People lining up in the corridor of the San Fernando General Hospital for medical treatment. You have the schools cannot open. You have every wrong. People losing their jobs. Look, UTT staff now, they're going to let them go today. Another person said me, they're firing all these CPAP contractors and workers. Everywhere jobs are being lost every single day. And what is the government doing? What is their big thing for the last week and this week? Let me tell you what it was. The government is running up and down the hallways of the parliament. They're waving foreign newspaper articles about a company called Cambridge Analytica on Facebook in Trinidad and Tobago. Let me tell you something. That is no revelation that Facebook advertising is or was used by any political party. PNM, UNCCO, PILP, and every political party. Sponsor, look, you tell him, you know, your presser person says sponsor, yeah? And there you have it, you're advertised on Facebook. But of course, Keith Rowley is so incompetent in his government, in every era. Now they want to say they don't know where the sponsor button is on Facebook. They had to wait for Cambridge Analytica to come to tell somebody how to advertise on Facebook. It is just distraction and confusion. So today they brought the a motion in Parliament for the AG statement on Cambridge Analytica. They're looking for distraction, so they come up with what? Cambridge Analytica. They come up to say that no one in Trinidad could put something on Facebook. Well, I think almost everybody here, majority, you on Facebook long before me. You're on Facebook a long time. And some of you right now on Facebook streaming this meeting live. True or not true? Right now this meeting is on Facebook. And where was the Prime Minister when all of this was happening in the past few weeks? He said he was in Tobago, he was watching crab race, he was playing cricket, and he was playing golf. In fact, the man actually said, you know what? They said the occupancy in the hotel was so low, and what? I was there. I was at the Magdalena. I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. He said it exactly like that. He said, I was there. He said, not everybody. But tell you. Well, blame Barry and Rodney. I was saying he called people, he called Barry Imps too and Rodney Imps. And I was telling him about the Minister of Finance, who is the real Imps, is taxman, Minister Imbert. Can I be saying, man up, Mr. Rowley? Man up, Mr. Rowley. Face the facts. You are the most incompetent Prime Minister leading the most incompetent government in the history of the Caribbean. This cannot continue. This cannot continue. There are several issues on crime. That is the single most important job of any government. Do you agree with that? Because I say if you're dead, then no matter if you have road, if you have house, if you have school, if you have bridge or water or food. Crime. Murders today, 145, 100 days. You cannot walk in the streets now, you can't go anywhere. It is a scary, scary feeling. And you have this minister now, Moses, plus 2 other ministers dealing with national security. You know, I just want to share with you some of the things we did before I tell you what more we can do. I called on the Prime Minister, let us meet to deal with anti-crime. I don't know if you'll recall that. June 2016, okay? Let's meet because the crime just continues to spiral. Then in August of that same year, I wrote again, calling for an urgent meeting to discuss the country's crime problem. In my letter, I said to the Prime Minister, the life, limb and property of every citizen is now in peril as criminals are merciless in their rampage. even when it comes to snuffing out the lives of innocent children. And Prime Minister Rowley to consider taking up the portfolio of national security because of the dismal results of his 3 ministers. Well, he had a chance again today to take it up. He's the Prime Minister. He said he chose what? Housing. And we'll have to ask why about that too. Look, take it up because, you know, this is the most important ministry and the most important issue. Eventually, we met in early September at the meeting came up for debate in the Parliament. We also called on the government to fulfill their manifesto promise to set up a joint border protection agency. Up to today, broken manifesto promise. Important at that meeting, the government agreed with us when we said that the government minister, it has been chaired by Hines. We said it should not be chaired by a government minister, Minister Hines, in charge of the GST in Parliament. I met again with the Prime Minister a year after that. He agreed to provide updated answers to the questions. We met again in January. I wrote to him, urging him for us to meet and so on. Well, that guy don't really want to meet me. It's not I want to meet him. But I felt in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago, let's meet. He took my letter and he flew it and tell Faris answered the letter. I didn't take offense at that because, again, your interest is more important than mine and my pride. Your interest is greater. I said, look, let's get together and pass this anti-gang law. So he gave Faris the answer. We had back and forth. We went to Parliament. We supported it. So where is the anti-gang legislation today? When we did, well, whose hands? Whose hands? Whose hands is that blood on now when murders are 145 today? Where is the blood coming from? Our sons and daughters bleeding. And where are you? What are your plans? You've kept none of yours. This PNM led by Rowley with this government. But you see all of that? Done. That's finished. It's finished. I give up. I give up. We will come to talk. Their whole manner of governing is one of a total dictatorship. It is their way or the no way. Their way or the highway. Well, we will not live like that. This is a democratic country, and we will not live like that. And so tonight I want to share something else with you. Because I told you we'll fight them in the Parliament, we will fight them outside the Parliament, in the streets, on the corner, have to, in the courthouse as well. And I want to share this with you tonight. You remember local government, huh? Do you remember local government reform? Since 2003, PNM promising local. Well, they still haven't done it. But today, not only have they done bad or worse, I was trying to say worse than the man in PNM, that they didn't bring local reform. When Mr. Manning and his government 3 times postponed local government elections, remember? So what this Keith Rowley government is now doing with local government is this. 2 seats are vacant. Local government seats are vacant. 1 in Barataria is vacant for 8 months now. 8 months, you know. And the one in Belmont East, vacant. Vacant. Because, God rest their souls, the councillors passed away. And this Rowley government, in subversion of the democracy, in subversion of the rule of law, in subversion of the constitution, have refused to call the local government elections for those 2 vacancies. Why? I am not afraid, win, lose or draw, bring it on. Bring on the elections. It is the right of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So if they will not follow the law, we will go to the court to have them follow the law. So today I send them 2 pre-action protocol letters. 2 letters. I act on behalf of, to the Attorney General, I act on behalf of 2 constituents of the Barataria district, the electoral district. They have been without a councillor for the past 8 months. And according to the law, I will not read all the provisions of the law, but hello, it's an 11-page letter. So rest assured, all the law is in this letter. All the law is in this. And we are seeking that within 7 days they must take action to have the President issue a writ of election for the Barataria seat and for the Belmont East seat. I'm saying to you, I'm not afraid, win, lose or draw, you must follow the law. Win, lose or draw, follow the law. They have failed to follow the law of Trinidad and Tobago. And so we are seeking for them a declaration, this is what we will go to court for, a declaration that a failure, which is a continuing failure of the cabinet, of the government of Trinidad and Tobago, acting, the power of the cabinet, rather the minister of the cabinet itself, their failure to inform the office of the president that the seat of the council of Barataria has been vacant and that the seat for the council of Belmont East has fallen vacant. And they have not done that within a reasonable time, and therefore that is illegal, unlawful, and unreasonable. Further, we are calling upon them to act upon this within 7 days, failing which, guess what? We will go to the Supreme Court of Trinidad and Tobago to enforce the rights of the constituents of Barataria and of Belmont East. So whilst they're playing, romping and roaming and recycling and cycling failed politicians, we will follow the law. And we will go to court to have the law enforced in Trinidad and Tobago. As I close tonight, I just want to remind you of some of the things that we promised you that we will do, how we will help to move Trinidad and Tobago forward. I don't think we can wait for our fortunes to improve from the oil and energy sector. We must take action now to diversify our country. We will continue to focus on key areas for development, including ICT, tourism, maritime industries, creative industries, and alternative renewable energy. You will recall that we identified growth poles in Southwest, Central Coast, Spain, North Coast, East Tobago, Southeast, East, Southeast, here with Moruga, Rio, Mayaro, Sandy Grande, and so on. And we identified these growth poles as economic zones, so we could bring in different clusters of investments suited to the area. So for you here in Moruga Tableland, what does this mean for you? It means that this cluster we will create will be specific to the needs here and the benefits for the people of Moruga, to create jobs for the people of Moruga. And when I say Moruga, I'm talking Moruga Tableland, this constituency. We will intensify diversification to grow the economy outside the energy sector, and so to have a positive effect on foreign exchange earnings to create good quality jobs. We will focus on infrastructure to facilitate greater use of technology, to deepen the process of building a knowledge economy, and to ensure our people are prepared for the 4th Industrial Revolution. For 2 years, I've been speaking of the 4th Industrial Revolution, which I'm saying is the only way, that is the only, or the main avenue to take our country forward, to create the jobs that you need, your families need. And you know, I see they're advertising a conference at one of the hotels in Port of Spain. Well, guess what? The 4th Industrial Revolution. The 4th Industrial. I look forward to the conference. It is not the government, it's not private sector people who are bright enough to understand that this is the way for us to go. And so we will take steps, we will take further steps into getting the digital global economy. We started it with the laptops. And listen, when you put us back in office, I will give back the children their laptops in the schools. There are several others. That 4th Industrial Revolution and the IT is a strategy which tries not just on the online transactions, but it has to do with innovations and new concepts. Something called the Internet of Things, something artificial intelligence, 3D printing. The last time I spoke in a meeting up on the corridor, I talked about you can go up online, you can find a product, and you can stay home and have the right printer, and you can print it out. Then I talked about you could have the robotics, and I say you'll be standing here, and you just press a button, and things will happen. You know, when I left that meeting, I went to the home, the after event for refreshments. They showed me a machine stand up in the corner somewhere. You know, they say, They say, leader, that is what you were talking about. That is a remote control vacuum cleaner. Can you believe it? So it's here already, artificial intelligence. It means that the jobs some of you may now have will become extinct. And therefore you have to be trained for the jobs of tomorrow. So whereas before you would have had someone doing the physical job of something, in the day to come in this new global age, the digital age, they don't want a man or woman doing it, it's a robot. Jobs in factories and robots, more and more robots will be doing this. We have to create the jobs. We have to train you for the jobs, because some of the jobs of today will not exist tomorrow. And that is why I totally condemn this government. As Carly told you about the education and importance, I condemn them for the closing down of the gate, the NIC, the NESC, the white up, all these programs we have for training our people, they have shut down those. And where is the money going? Diego Martin Sports Complex? Where is it going? Brian Lander Stadium? Send us spending how much thousands or millions to open it? Nothing happening there, you know. Shut down, big Bram, big fancy opening, money spent, drinks flow, and what's going on there? Nothing. Not being used at all. Paying money for romping, romance, paying money for paintings, so-called disease, paying money for everything else, except the money to train the young people of our country for the jobs of tomorrow. They are so stuck on the past. There is no hope. There is no hope. I know people were prepared to give the PNM the benefit of the doubt. Give them a chance. Your chances have run out. You have failed, and you have failed miserably, Dr. Rowley. The UNC team is ready. We have a vision. We have a mission. And together we must work to move our country forward. Your party, the UNC and our loyal supporters, you continue to be subjected to those kinds of attacks. But do not get distracted and never fear, because Kamala is here. Do not fear, the UNC is here. You see, they want to get us faint, weak-hearted, to pack up and hide home. We never do that. We are strong, as I say. We will never, ever, ever give up. They do not know what it means to be a member and supporter of a great party like ours. We were born out of struggle for equal rights and justice for all. We understand that performance beats old talk every time. We know that if you work hard for what you believe in, success will come. Some people never understand how, even in opposition, we can hold meetings anywhere and everywhere in this country. And our meetings bigger and brighter than a meeting in the old Prime Minister's own constituency. And you know why we can do this is because they cannot take our pride away. They cannot take our pride away. It is because of the proud history of our great party that each of us commits daily. We heard our speakers tonight committing daily to do best that they can to take Moruga Tableland back into government, to take you back into government. And they could say the worst things about me. I went to school just like them. Well, some didn't, but I went to school like many of us. And I always learned, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So they have said everything in the world about me. I think all of us here. And what they didn't say, they make up and say. And we are alive and we are strong, and we will continue to fight for justice and equality. We will never back down. You have shown that you're ready to work to help your fellow Trinbagonians. You have shown that you're ready to do what you can to build our country into a better place. Our country is stronger together. Our country is better when we work together. Do not let those who will divide us, do not let them do it, and do not let them distract you. Do not, when you see the lies, I think Jillian put it, this is now the Rowley government. Is now a government of sex, lies, and fairy tales. That's where they've reached. Do not get distracted. Do not ever fear. My friends, according to Mr. Manning, if you remember, facts are stubborn things. They are very hard to go away. I am committed, and I remain committed to our party's original vision, always to create a better future for all our citizens, and especially for our children. I told you last time what matters most. What matters most are our children. What matters most is the future for our children. And I'm telling you, that was my commitment and my focus for the years I have served in public office. And that remains my commitment, because the children are our future. The children are our future. Treat them well. Treat them well. And this government has shown they have no care for women, no care for the vulnerable, but above all, they have no care for the children of Trinidad and Tobago. So let us come together, and I ask you tonight, are you ready to move with us? Are you ready to return your party to government? Are you ready for us to move forward with a plan to rescue TNT from this uncaring government? The UNC will embrace the challenges that lie ahead, because we are people-focused. We look for people-centered development. That is why when we were there, what we looked at, schools and hospitals and roads and bridges and jobs, those are the things that affect you right in your heart and in your pockets. Those are the things that affect you. Those are the things that help you. Schools and hospitals, roads and bridges connect people. Infrastructure brings jobs, brings up bills. In the places where we built all those roads, land prices have gone up, businesses have gone up. Sad to say, since Rowley came into government, those businesses are closing down. Closing down. Let us work together to make Trinidad and Tobago a greater, better place. Let us return our nation to greatness. So thank you very much. I am UNC, and I'm very proud. Are you UNC? Are you proud? I keep reminding you, we don't need guns. We don't need anything else. All we need is this. Raise your hand with me. With this finger, you can put a government in power, and you can move a government out of power. Let us ready our party to vote them out. The most incompetent government, the most incompetent prime minister, we must vote them out of office. But before we can get that vote, before we can get that opportunity, we must make a rising, a great uprising in this country to exercise our civil rights, to demand that they call the election now. I join with Jalen and the others. I join with them to say the time has come and the time is now. This is the time for us to stand together and to march together for justice, for equality in Trinidad and Tobago. As I close, I want you to look at your screens, because I want to thank the hard-working chairman, councillors, the constituency executive, and the activists of Moruga Tableland for the tremendous job they're doing together with